close my eyes and I can see a world that's waiting up for me, that I call my own. Through the dark, through the door, through where no one's been before, but it feels like home. They can say it all sounds crazy. They can say I've lost my mind. I don't care, I don't.
Hi, good morning. Good morning, everyone. Please, emojis if you can hear me. Welcome, 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 welcome. I see people are joining. Please indicate. Am I? Yes, I'm audible. Yes. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining early. We start at 10 and we have started. Hello, Daniel. Hello, Babatunde. Hello, Stacy. Hello, Elizabeth. Hello, Ayoni. Hello, Napa. Hello, everyone. So, at this point, thank you. Thank you for joining. Okay, we'll proceed. Wherever you are, just say hello in the chat in whatever language you prefer, really. I want to know people are here. I just want to be sure people have not joined and gone to wash plates or something. Just say hi. You can come off mute, anyone. Hello. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Hi, hi. Hi. Bonjour. Okay, welcome. So we'll just get into it. My name is Love. You know, Yes, I am the content and research manager at B4B Partners, who is hosting the webinar. I will be your host. I am your host. And three things to know about me is one, I love 80s music. I love food, even though it doesn't show. And I love Manchester United, much to my detriment. Um, yes. Okay. This is an open session. It's a B4B webinar. If you're familiar, is there anyone familiar with B4B webinars? Can I get a thumbs up? If you're familiar with us, you will know that it's camera on, it's a very open and free session. We encourage engagement, interaction, questions, so feel free to type in your comments, your reactions, your opinions. It's very interactive. Engage and share and be open. Okay. So if you remember, I mentioned that we are B4B partners. So welcome again. We are your partners for smart, scalable growth. I'm sure that's very fanciful English, but basically we help businesses, we help even government agencies, we help individuals, startup founders to be the best at what they do and to increase revenue for their organization. Our vision is to empower individuals and businesses with the right tools, with the right strategies, with the support they need to scale and to grow. Somebody said to scale and to grow. Okay. We do that by building high performing sales teams because that's the seat of money making. If you're not selling, you're not existing. We do that by driving revenue growth across different departments, so product marketing, customer success. Yeah, we empower your sales teams as well, capacity building, and we have programs that deliver these things. I'm very happy to be introducing the second edition. Yes, it feels like we've done 10 editions of this though. The B4B Revenue Accelerator, right? This is just the second edition, like I said, and it is a hands-on program for business owners and leaders. Remember when I said we help you achieve scalable and sustainable growth? Yes, this is one of the programs through which we do that. It's for business owners, for sales leaders who want to grow faster, sell smarter, and build something that lasts. So if you've noticed funny kinks in your sales system, in your revenue engine, this is the program for you. It is 1 week of immersive in-person sessions and then 3 weeks of coaching, monitoring, reporting, and guidance. So we help you build a sales book. It's one of the things we help you do. that will consistently generate revenue for you going forward, right? So below are the things you walk away with. Like I said, a playbook, a very strong one, so that you can replicate the things you learn, so that it's not just learning and forgetting. You get your CRM setup or improved in case you have one. You get a lead generation plan. We have uh, from the past edition, people that have generated or seen 820% increase in leads and around a 58% increase in revenue. This is like true talk. They didn't tell me I was there, right? You walk away with retention tactics, performance tracking, all the good stuff. So regardless of um where the stone is in the shoe of the organization, you understand what I'm saying? My African people, revenue accelerator is designed to fix that. Okay, the prices are here. You can see for yourself. You can scan this code right now. I will give you 10 seconds. You can scan this code to, register. And I think it's happening, yes, September 22nd. Yes, that's when it's happening. Okay, 10 seconds is up. Don't worry, it will show at the end of the program. Okay, going into our agenda. Um, well, we have one huge program for you today. And, I will let the program speak for itself. All right. Now let's vote. Again, if you're familiar with the B4B webinars, you know that we like to have fun. Are there people here? Okay, so A or B, fans of the franchise. I hope people know what I'm talking about. The new Mission Impossible: The Reckoning just came out, so please vote if you are Team James Bond, the James Bond franchise, or the Mission Impossible franchise. Can I see? We don't have time. Come on, A or B. If you don't know, just pick one. Are there people here? Which do we prefer? B. Thank you. Thank you. So James Bond is from the UK, in it, and Ethan Hunt is an American franchise. Okay. A. Wait, who's winning? I don't know. Can somebody check the comments and let me know? It better be B, because I'm very biased. All right. Okay. So drum roll, everyone. As we welcome our guests. When I say drum roll, I mean emoji roll. Like, can I see the emojis rolling upwards? Thank you. As we welcome our speaker for today, who is loaded. Her name is Ione Jimo, and she is a powerhouse. She's a versatile T-shaped marketing professional with over 6 years of experience driving user acquisition and retention for startups and businesses across sectors including fintech, SaaS, agriculture, edtech, and more. Her expertise spans product marketing, brand strategy, storytelling, strategic communications, product-led growth, influencer marketing, and performance analytics. She brings a well-rounded approach to every project. Ione has successfully led cross-functional teams to design with data-driven, growth-focused marketing strategies. She has also shaped brand identities through comprehensive 360 campaigns for renowned brands such as Leatherback, Culture Wave, Nigerian Breweries, Bear Nigeria, Suzuki, and others. Like I said, she's a powerhouse. As I've spoken, all my mouth is very large. So can we please welcome Ione Jimo, our global marketing and growth professional, to take us on 16 marketing leaks. Let's go. I'm not seeing the emojis. You people are not excited. Hey,
Thank
hello. Hi, Ione.
Hi, everyone. Thank you.
And take a banana. Hi, Ione. You can take over now.
Okay, thank you. Please, can you just thumbs up if you can see my screen? All right, perfect. So, Plug the leaks while your marketing isn't converting and how to fix it. Thank you, B4B, for having me here. And I don't think I need to do much introduction about myself. I mean, Love has already done that. I'll start with a personal experience. I remembered the first time I launched my first mobile app in the fintech space. And, you know, when you have that rush of adrenaline, you've put this in place, you've worked with every other extension of your team, product, engineering, and you fix the launch date. In your mind, you have everything perfect and you're just ready to go live. And you believe that the moment you push that product out, everybody should just rush it, download and start using your platform. But it was not the case. I mean, yes, we had a very good launch from that experience. However, everything just took a spiral after people started downloading and trying to onboard. Then we realized that there was either they are stuck. I mean, how can you get up to almost 10,000 downloads in less than a month? And when you look at the percentage of the people that are actually activated users, is not even up to 10% of that. You can all agree that can measure that as success, as a successful campaign. You want to be able to have at least 70% or more of that people that you have brought in to be converted and actively using your product before you can say, oh, these people are actually, this campaign is successful. Another experience I had with a client, and this one is more e-commerce. So she mentioned, I've been running ads, I get a lot of leads, the ad performs, but people just don't buy. They don't go ahead to pay. And all of this, of course, I have to then go into trying to analyze where is the problem, where's the leak, what has gone wrong, how can we fix this? And I would say that has shaped my experience on how I approach every project going forward. I am not usually in a rush to launch an app or make an offer available to the public, except a lot of the things that I am going to be talking about today have been put in place to ensure that you don't have this kind of leaks when you are actually, launched and out there. So the this has shaped my experience. I've worked across different sectors. Um, I started my career working in the agency, and you know how agencies are fast paced. You're working across different accounts and different industry, and moving there into the startup field in fintech also, give me like the real life experience working on products one-on-one. I was also I also was like the first hire. I think that those are all the things that have helped shape how I have been able to approach marketing different from others. So as the first marketing hire, you are the one that has to figure a lot of things out and ensure that you're able to define what the company's future would be. So today, the session roadmap for this session and the things I will be talking about, we'll start with why your marketing fail or why your sales are not converting. We want to see, sometimes it's not always the fault of your ads or your offer or maybe the spend. So we want to be able to identify those invisible leaks. And I would also be sharing proven personal strategies that I usually adopt that can lift your conversions by 77%. How you also measure and what to measure matters so you don't waste your budget. And then we take the Q&A. So if you have questions or any recommendations or anything to say, just note them down. And at the end of the session, we will take everything together. So let's look at it. What does a typical marketing funnel looks like? And before we start identifying leaks, we want to see what you should ordinarily have if there's no leak. So there are different models when it comes to the marketing funnel. We have the AIDA, we have the no, we have different ones. I don't want to go into all those terminology, so I also do not confuse people that are not marketers on this call. So I'm trying to keep it as, layman as possible so that we all understand the point. So your typical marketing funnel, you want to start with the top of the funnel, which is awareness. I mean, this is where people discover you, where they know what you're doing or what products you're selling, how you solve their problem. So everything that you as a brand must be saying or doing at this point should be able to show those people that you are even in the market. I mean, people can only buy what they've seen in the market. If I want to get a maybe I want to get a phone right now and I don't know any brand. I mean, if I've seen someone use an Android phone, or maybe Samsung or iPhone around me, or I go into the store and with the mind that I don't have a product in mind, but as I enter into the store, the first set of products I see and interact with would actually begin to shape my perception of, okay, this is the one I would go for. So you need to be able to put yourself, your product out there for people to see. A lot of times people or businesses or business owners are too quick to just want people to buy and not actually investing. So the same number of focus you're putting on the top of the funnel, which is awareness, you must also approach every other part of the funnel the same way. The next stage here is interest. Interest is also where you're talking about why people should even look at you. I mean, you have competitors, so why are you different? What makes you different? Why should they go for you? It could be your pricing. Sometimes you might not even have anything new or different from your competition. Maybe yours is because you have a better price, or maybe you have an after sales support, things that make you different. So sometimes it does not really have to tie to your product, but it's just like an add-on that gives people that security or safety, that I can trust this brand over this one. It could also just be because of the way your brand perception, the way people have loved it. You are associated with luxury and people want to have that sense of, okay, I am also like the 1% of the 1%. So here you need to do things that would make people want to use your product. And then the next step is consideration. Consideration is when they now start comparing based on the informed decision that the user has now, okay, they've seen you, they've seen what you can do, how you can solve the problem, and then they now compare, okay, I would go for this person and I would not go for this. And then the next stage is where they now take action. They go ahead to either sign up and make the payments, to subscribe, or whatever the action that ties to your product. Now let's look at what a leaking funnel is. We can see what's the typical one. They see it, you change their mind, they build a perception, they compare you to others, and they take action. For leaking funnel, your awareness stage, the things that could be happening or you could be doing wrong is maybe you are not even in the right phase of who you're targeting. I mean, if you're selling products for babies and you know that the decision makers for those kind of products are mothers or parents, you don't want to position or have your product where this set of people will not be able to see it. So when we are looking at a funnel leaking in place of awareness, this is where you are actually positioning or putting yourself in the wrong space where your audience are not, going to find you. It could also be that, okay, they find you, then maybe they get to your website. The messaging, what you're saying is not even clear enough. I have gone to some websites that when I read it, I can't even understand what it means. You're wondering, okay, we technology this, but what exactly are you doing? So it could be your messaging, it could be what you're saying or how you're saying it, or maybe you're even speaking to the wrong people. Maybe you don't know who your users are, who are the people that are actually. So look at the use case I've just mentioned for the baby product. Yes, babies are the one that would use it, but babies are not the one that would buy. They are not the one that will go to the market or go to your website too. So you cannot now be creating content or message or build your website to speak to babies because they are not the decision maker. So sometimes you want to look at it. Maybe the people you are targeting are not the same as your decision maker. So this is where we use the term consumer and customers, especially for FMCGs and this baby product I mentioned. So when you say a consumer is somebody that is actually using it, which is the babies in this instance. Or let's look at other technology products that caters to babies. seeing other product that would say they want you to be able to they are building for children, health, and all of that. But we know that the customers, the people that would actually pay, are the parents. So in that case, you need to now understand what are the kind of things that we want to see that would make the parents actually buy. So you have to be able to define that. Other kind of leak are then okay. You have brought in this person, they are now here, but they don't even know what to do, or they don't know where to find you. You are not stating it clearly. Okay, our products can be found as so, or you go to this place or go to App Store to download. So all of these things are ways by which you can have a leaking funnel that instead of your prospects to go through the typical from awareness, move to interest, move to consideration, and move to action, they sometimes gets drop off, or just what you call leaks. They drop off at the point and not move to the next stage that will now convert them. So now what could be the core reasons for funnel? The first thing that is easily identifiable is the wrong audience. I mean, I have seen cases where some people will tell you, I'm building an app for an agri-tech company, and we are trying to make it easier for working professionals to be able to buy their livestock that are protein, maybe chicken, maybe your turkey, or any other protein of your choice. We want you to be able to come onto the app. We want you to be able to make your order and just make payment. But when you are listening to such business owners, what they go ahead to say is, we are working with farmers. And then you're wondering, there's a disconnect. Are the farmers your audience, or the people that will buy the chicken? So as a business, it is on you to actually be able to sit down and define your audience. Who exactly is your product for? So you can, and there are some cases where you have a large number of people. I will give you an option. For a remittance product, for example, maybe you are providing remittance for people in the UK to be able to send money home to their loved ones in Nigeria, in Ghana, or any other part of Africa, or even any other part of Asia. Now, that is your product. That is the solution, remittance. And what you're using to differentiate yourself, you're saying that you have the best rates and you have support. You have identified what is wrong with other competitions, and that is what you are using to differentiate yourself. Now, we have identified your product. Who are your audience? I've seen cases where people would say, my audience, I'm targeting immigrants, I'm targeting indigenes, I'm targeting this, I'm targeting that, this, that. And then you just have a whole lot of people that you're targeting. And because your audience pool is so large, you are now doing multiple things at time, that at the end of the day, the main target audience are not even seeing you to take action. So you want to be able to identify and simplify who your user is, so that it is easy for you to be saying the same thing. There's something we usually advise other marketers and even business owners. You are not serving everybody in the markets. No. You are just serving one person in the market. Now, the good thing is that if you can identify your one person, the one person, you can see it in the next person, and then in the next person. And that's how you now grow your user. So focus on one person. This is the person. This is my solution. This is what I'm doing for them. And that way you can know the language to speak to them. Another issue that happens for leaks or funnel failure is poor follow-up. Sometimes you have the user, yes, they've signed up, they have your app, but we know how life can get busy. I mean, I can use myself as an example. Sometimes I want to check out an app or a product, or I'm just scrolling Instagram, I see something that I like, and then I initiate contact. But because you have a meeting or something else, you just drop your phone and you did not remember to follow up. It is on you as the business owner to put things in checks, things in place that actively continue to help you to nurture that user so that they don't just drop off or that lead does not get cold. I mean, you are running a B2B company, you are providing credits for businesses, and you've been able to spend this amount of money on events. Your sales team, your marketing team, they've run hard. You know, your sales team, they went to this event and they brought in as much as 1,000 solid and quality leads, but then it just ends there. You know, you just have the leads on Excel 1 week after the event. These people have not even heard from you, not even an hello, an email or anything. Then 2 months after, you are following up. And in that period, they probably find your competition that has already onboarded them or is already close to signing up the contract or SLA. So you need to also be able to identify these leaks. Unclear messaging and CTA, I've spoken about this. I am the user, you have something to sell, and the language you're speaking, I cannot even seem to resonate with it or understand what you're saying. A lot of time, all because we're trying to use, you know, fancy words and fluffy words, you confuse your user. I usually advise that when you're speaking in marketing, in your copy, use language that even a 5 years old, a 2 would understand the English, and they don't need to carry dictionary, or they don't need to have to now copy the message on your landing page to go and ask ChatGPT to help them to, you know, simplify it or explain what you mean. You need to be able to say it, especially in the language that the user themselves they use. If a user is telling you that they call this thing pouch, it is not on you to call it leather jacket. You want to use the language that they would understand. Then another issue is no marketing and sales alignment. This is mostly for B2B. We understand that for B2B businesses, a lot of the conversion is on sales, is on the revenue team. So marketing will just get you the leads, maybe through the paid ads, you know, everything that they have used to bring in that customer, and then they pass it on to sales. But there's no proper handoff. There's nothing to actually even enable sales for success. So all of these are issues. And the key takeaway from this is when you are able to fix your alignment and audience, you are already winning. You are already on your way to winning in your campaign. So personally, I have a diagnostic framework that I use when I want to map out or see what the issue is, where is the leak coming from, and I call it FACT, FACT. So the first thing on my diagnostic framework is funnel mapping. I mean, you can only identify leaks when you know what the journey should be. So here is where you're actually defining your customer journey, how you want the whole process. And another thing that we have also discovered is that the fact that we are saying it is a funnel does not mean that users would go in that direction, meaning they will go from that top to middle. Sometimes they can go from the top of the funnel straight down to the bottom of the funnel. So depending on how they find you and how long they've actually, and how important, you know, where they are on the threshold of, I need this thing. Sometimes people are just trying to, you know, get familiar. At that point, it's not like a pain point for them. So they might not even take action. They can be at that awareness stage that, okay, they know you for a longer period. And then when they know that they then need you, they go ahead. But in some cases, some people would actually just go through each of that process. So it is left on you as a business to make sure that for every journey on that funnel, you have put everything in place, that even if you are not actively targeting one part of the funnel, nothing is broken. So here for funnel mapping, I like to use what we call the AAA RRR metrics. And the AAA RRR metrics, what it does is it helps us to actually break down the journey of a user and how you also tie them to revenue or important metrics that you want to measure. So the first thing on the funnel is awareness. This is where you get people to know you. Like I initially said, is either you want them to see your ads, your paid ads, you want them to follow you on social media, you want them to be able to know that you are on App Store You want them to, maybe if you have a physical store, you want them to know where your addresses are, everything that just keep you top of mind. So here you have mapped it. This is what you want them to do. Sometimes you don't need them to do everything. You just want them to, you want to pick the most important one. It could be that maybe your website is what is important to your revenue, that is tied to how people actually pay for your product. So you have picked your website. Now it is on you to map that journey, that, okay, for everyone that is coming on this website, they should, this website, without them speaking to me or anyone on the sales team or anyone on the marketing team, the website should be able to do enough conviction to answer every question that the customer has. Question around, why should they take your product? What can it do for them? On pricing, the most important details. And then don't stop there. They should know what the call to action is. Are they expected to sign up? Are they expected to, if it's not stopping at sign up, if there is a KYC, you need to put that there. So the website should be enough to do all of this. If your mobile app is what you want to use, then you need to put your mobile app or your paid ad in places where they can easily know that the mobile app is what they should go download. And everything that helps you to simplify that journey for them, you have to put it in place. So then you move to the next stage, acquisition. Acquisition here is where you get them to sign up. Is either they sign up or they book you for a demo, or here they're already one step to being a paying customer. So what you need to do here, you need to then look at what is the journey for sign up. If you have a mobile app that you need them, that, okay, your mobile app, there's a KYC or there's a KYB for them to, what are the documents? So all of these things, you need to simplify it so that when they are signing up, they don't get stuck and just get pissed off and move on to other things or another competition. So it is on you to look at it. How do I make this sign-up process easy for these people? And after they sign up, what are the type of communication that I want to put in place that gets them easily onboarded, that they would be able to perform the first thing that would activate them as a user? What do I mean by that? If your product is, they sign up, you don't have a freemium, they need to make payments for a subscription or something, it is on you that the moment they sign up, maybe you want to space it 1 or 2 hours after they sign up, you have an email or a push notification or a follow-up message or someone on your customer success team that follows up with them to say, oh, we've noticed you signed up on our platform, and this is how to get you started. This is what, like, you need to have those kind of communication in place. So it could be emails, it could be SMS, anything. It could be your sales team following up, but it is on you as a business to understand that journey and put that in place. Else, those people drop off after they've signed up and they just move to other things. Now, activation, which is the next part. This is where they've experienced your product, and something that we call the aha moments. This is where they're like, oh, okay, this is a nice decision that I've picked this product. And at this stage, I would make reference to the Facebook. I was watching a video of the Facebook, one of their marketing leader, and she was talking about how they were able to define what the success is for their products at Facebook. And to Facebook, they've been able to look at what their product looks like. They are building for you to connect with your friends or family. So success for them is that in the first 7 days of a user signing up, you have followed 10 people, or you have accepted or sent 10 friend requests. That is what success for them means. It means that, okay, now this person has a great user experience at that first stage. So it is on you also as a business owner or a marketing leader to define this for your product. What is the aha moment for us? Now, I would personalize my own experience. When I was in Remittance, one of the things that we were able to identify, Facebook said 7 days, 10 signups, 10 friend requests. The way I was able to define it, okay, Remittance, we know that Remittance is mostly tied to maybe your income or salary for you to be able to send money, right? And we know that depending on where you work, you either get paid once or twice a month. So it's either in the middle of the month or the end of the month. So what we have looked at is, okay, if I bring in a new user, one new user, in 30 days, this person should have done at least one transaction. Then it means that we have successfully signed up and activated this user. And that is a success for that product. So for different products, it could be that you're an health app. You have looked at it that, okay, for somebody to sign up on our app, maybe we provide pharmacy, diagnostic, they're able to speak to a physician and all of that. Okay, maybe in the first 7 days, they have signed up. So you have to actively look at your product and what's the experience in terms of the journey for the customer, and use that to set the things you want to put. Now, because you have identified that this person must make a remittance transaction in 30 days, is on you to put the communications. If it is communications, if it is a follow-up, all those kind of things, it is left on you to put them in place for your team to be able to do this. So you continue to just look at the journey. For revenue also, what are the things that get them to say, do you have discounts? Do you have bulk payments? You want to upsell? Maybe what this particular person is coming for is to get diagnostic, right? Know what is wrong with them. But because you have the opportunity to also link them up with doctors or pharmacists, you can upsell that. Okay, because you have used the diagnostic service, you would be able to also do this. So it's left for you to look at those journey and then see how to map it. For retention also, how do you get them to come back? Do you want to offer discount? Do you want to set up reminders? You want to look at their activity. These people are always doing transaction at so date of the month. So maybe you then want to set up a reminder that at that few days to that particular day of the month, you send it to them. So you remind them, you check in, all those kind of things. And then for referrals, at this point, these people are already your brand advocates. And it is very easy to get an existing customer to come back or refer you to a customer. In fact, it's cheaper than when you as a business continue to be the one. So here, the key takeaway for you is you want to define your journey and the activation moment for your product or service. Now, for the other feet on the FACT framework is audience. For your audience, you need to be able to understand who they are, your solution, their needs, and speak in the language. So you need to also understand the CTA. Learn more is not a CTA. What are they learning? What are they doing exactly? So instead of saying learn more, it could be book your strategy call, or set up click here to set up a demo. Just to say exactly what you want them to do. So your messaging, you want to also identify when you're mapping your audience. Don't just say IONI, or no, don't just say working professionals. Go down to do a deep dive. Who is the person? Okay, you are selling remittance. You have identified your audience. Ione, she's an immigrant. She lives in the UK, in London. She works in, this is what her salary is. This is what her remittance, journey looks like. She sends money once or twice a month. The pain point, there's a lot of apps that they've promised, good service and they've messed up, those kind of things. So you have to actually understand them. And that is how your copywriter writes the wrong thing. Even if you have the best products and the best funnel, if your audience is not the right fit, it's as useless as whatever the strategy. The other part is your conversion triggers. Conversion is where you then see how to set up the people that are coming in from the top of your funnel and get them to actually make payments. I mean, if a user has not made payments, we don't see them as converted, right? Because at the end of the day, revenue is the most important thing to the business. So all the things you need to do, you also need to define the conversion. For B2C products that are more consumer facing, the conversion is usually more straightforward because it then means that they sign up, maybe they need to put their card, and then that's it. They make the payment and they're using it. But for B2B, it is a bit different, especially because the conversation can take months sometimes for you to even sign up one user. So in this case, you need to be able to ensure that your marketing and the sales team, the marriage between them is very, very fluid in such a way that you are able to move leads. They can easily follow up. You have every other thing that helps them to provide that seamless onboarding. And how do you get all of this? In case you don't You can just sit your sales team, product team, and your CX team, sit them down, let them mention what, ask questions around, okay, how has the team, when you're speaking for sales, when you're speaking to the users or prospects, what are the kind of questions they ask? You can then tailor your sales enablement material or your pitch deck around that. Then product too, from that, they can use that to refine whatever the issue is. CX are the one interfacing also one-on-one. What are the issues? What are the things that are coming up? All this helps you to then know how to clean up your user journey. Sometimes maybe you just need to take them through 2 process and not 7. So all these are how you do and create your journey mapping. You can use tools like Miro, Notion, or Whimsical. Then the next thing is to nurture them. You already have the leads. You've either manually using an Excel sheet to put their emails and data together, or you have like an automated flow where there's already like a tool that just collects all this data. You want to now set up messaging flows. Like I said, this helps you to nurture, this helps you to keep you top of mind, emails, push notification, SMS, calls, and there are a lot of tools that you can use to do all of this. I highlighted some. For CRM, we have HubSpot, Salesforce, Pipedrive, and as much as possible for automation or for user engagement, we have tools like Customer.io, tools like Engage.so, and just a few of them. Now, you also need to define what your flow should be for messaging, depending on how it ties to your products. There are some cases where maybe the lead magnet or what you're using to bring in this user is a free ebook that talks about your product, or they give them something for free and then they use that to sign up. They have a welcome email. Maybe at that point, you now show them a case study of how you have been able to transform another product, and then they get to have a free trial before you take them to the paid version. So you just need to define all of this and set the process up. The last thing that you need to fix when it comes to conversion is the sales and up process. You need to look at ensuring that you're setting your sales team up for success. The checklist, do they need email templates that will be used to follow up? Just look at it across the journey. What kind of templates do you need to give them? Do you also need to onboard them on the CRM tool or train them? Those kind of things that set them up for success. SLAs, how they engage, what are the timelines, all those kind of things. Because the higher the hands off and the better the hands off, the higher your close rate. Now, for tracking and feedback, which is also the most important thing, I mean, you have your audience feeds, you have every other thing working, but how do you know that it is working if you don't track? So here is where you track, and you actually track based on the funnel. There are different KPIs to track. For awareness, you're tracking impression. What kind of traffic are you getting? Depending on your product, what's the search volume? How are people searching for you? For acquisition, what's the number of sign up? How much are you spending to acquire a user? Then for activation, what's the revenue that you're getting from this person? For retention, are they coming back? What's the upsell rate? All of this. For referrals, what's the number of referrals that you're getting? What are the reviews? What are the feedback? And we have different tools that you also use to do this. Some are paid, some are free. I mean, for reporting, Google Sheets, if you are on the Google platform, that is for free. Or you go for business intelligence tools like Power BI. Lucas Studio is also on the Google platform, so it's free. So you either need to just learn how to do this yourself, or get a business intelligence analyst on your team that helps you to do all of the integration and pull the right data that you want to track. So the last thing that sometimes businesses don't like to also admit, sometimes maybe your funnel is not the problem. Maybe it is your offer, which is your product or your service. So what happens when you have done all of the other things that we have on that fact framework, and you see that there's no issue, there's no leak? Then you have to go back to your product and your offer. You conduct a value test and see if it is actually doing or solving a problem. The first thing is vital. Does this solve a must-have or a nice-to-have? If you have a product that is solving a nice-to-have problem, people might not adopt it because they don't see a reason why they should go ahead. Then what's the advantage over competition? They need to know what sets you apart. The low friction, how can they quickly get value that they don't have to wait long period before they can actually begin to get value from your products? Then the results from these people, what is the wins for customers in the first experience? the emotional hook, you need to also play into them. Humans are naturally emotional beings. So if you're providing a product for them that is not evoking a kind of emotion in them, then maybe your product will not last in their, checkbooks or even in their face. So what kind of emotion? Is it relief? Is it trust? Is it excitement? Is it confidence? Are you empowering them? You need to be able to look at that and tie your product to that emotional value. Now, how do you find out, or how to improve, or clean up whatever the issue is with your product? The way out is you talk to your customers, especially the most recent one. Talk to them, because you're building for them. You need to know what exactly they are looking for, and then you can use that to refine, accelerate the moments. They don't have to be on your platform for 6 months for them to see that you are solving a problem for them. So make it quick as possible. Then simplify. You don't need to have thousands of solutions. Just have 1 or 2 core solutions, and then others can be added on. At least those first 1 or 2, to bring them in, let them see why they should be here, and you can then reposition. So maybe it's your pricing, maybe it's the messaging and how you're communicating. And we've come to the end of this session. I mean, we're crunch on time, so that's why I have actually been rushing through but if you have any questions or anything that you want to add to this, you can go ahead and let's take questions. And I have a free worksheet template here that can help you to answer some of the questions on this. So do you have a map funnel? You need to go back to your business. Do you have a map funnel? Are you nurturing leads? Are you tracking the right thing? This worksheet allows you to be able to actually do an audit that would actually give you the pointers into where the existing leaks are currently in your business. And then you can use that to, refine whatever you have ongoing. And this is how to contact me. I'm on LinkedIn as Ayonijimo, and my email is ayonijimo2013@gmail.com. So I will take questions at this point.
Hi, Ayeni. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. It was really insightful. I think where the part that got me was you said we should go beyond learn more. I want to argue that point, but I will restrain myself. Yes, it was. Thank you for doing this with us. I'm checking the chat now to see if there are any questions. While while people are dropping their questions, I have one on my own. Can I ask, or the host is not allowed to ask?
No, you're allowed to ask. Please go on.
Okay, so you mentioned something about going back to your offer if after you've tried. Okay, do we have somebody's hand up? Does that mean I can ask? Okay,
Yeah.
Yeah. Your hand is all. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Oh, but are you here?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes.
Good morning. Thank you, Ayoni. Thank you, the organizers of this marketing seminar. I've learned a lot. My business is a retail business. From what I can get, it actually applies to if you have products online. If you have a website and all that, you have to get to know your audience and all that mapping. So what happens if you run a working business? What happens? How do you track your audience? How do you get to have all this information so as to know your leaks? Because like a retail business, you don't know what anybody coming to look for at any point in time. So how do you track that? Thank you very much.
Okay, there's a bit of static on your end. Your business is what business? I didn't get that.
I tend to work in clients mostly. That I have a store, I have a location, I have people who come in randomly. So how do you do all that mapping, tracking, getting to know your audience, and then to identify your leaks and then plug the gaps? Thank you very much.
Okay.
I'm actually in the health business. exactly. Health business,
Else.
like a pharmacy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So for that
Uh,
kind of business, so the way you approach online is not the same way you would approach a physical business, a business that has a physical store. For physical stores, you also want to understand that most of the people that will walk in, some of them actually discover you online. So things like Google My Business, for example, if I want to buy something, I would first go on Google to see where can I buy this thing that is close to me. So most of the people that are coming close to your pharmacy, they are actually living around, or maybe they have their offices around. So the first thing you want to do for your own top of funnel, especially for awareness, is to ensure that you have been able, even if you're not online, you need to set up yourself online. So you want to have your Google My Business. If you don't have a website, your Google My Business will stand as your digital footprint. So they see your business name, they see your full address, they see your phone number, they see your emails and any other information that you want. And the good thing also is that Google My Business allows you to collect reviews, right? So it is like the way you have App Store that people can go drop reviews on App Store for mobile apps. That's the same way Google My Business is for you. So for businesses that are more physical, we usually advise them to take that Google My Business as important. I would even use myself as an example. Any physical store that I'm trying to check around that does not have a Google My Business, sometimes I am wary of them if they are not a big brand. Because a lot of time for you to be on Google My Business, Google would ensure that they verify you. So it means that you have submitted a bit of documentation to show that you are a genuine and legit business. So that's already established a level of trust for whoever is coming in to meet you. So that is one way to let people easily find. Don't have that. Now, when they come into your store, you can have a feedback box. I've seen cases where I go to places and I will see like a box on the counter and they write, feedback, and they can just easily put a pen and paper there. You write your feedback and you drop it. So it is on you. If you genuinely want to understand how people feel when they come in, you can even just have a short survey. Run that at interval, maybe once a month or once in 3 months, especially for your regulars, because I can tell you for a fact that your sales team or the customer facing team in your business, in the pharmacy, they know people that are regular customers. So those kind of people, you also want to speak to them, ask them questions. How is our service? So you can conduct those kind of review quarterly, and then whatever feedback you get from it, you use it to refine your service. They can tell you it's pricing. Some will tell you, your price is more expensive than other people. I'm just coming here because you're closer. Those kind of feedback, you now use it to modify. So you just look at it for online business and see how it translates to yours for physical business. It might not be the same process, but it's still the same way you look at it. So I don't know if this has answered your question.
yes, thank you very much, Ayomi. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
All right, you're welcome. Okay, love, you wanted to ask something.
Oh, I think I should let other
Okay.
people. Yes, other people go. Yes, we
Olaiwola, please go.
Hello, good morning, Ioni.
Good morning.
Thank you for the detailed presentation.
You're welcome. Your
So,
question, please.
how can I get access to the slide, right? So I can reread and digest and then pick out and apply to my business.
Love, do you want to answer that?
Yeah, I think it will be shared. I think post webinar. If you registered, yes, to your email.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other question from the audience, from the attendees?
If there aren't, we have one in the chat.
Oh, okay. Let me check.
I'll just read it out. The person says, are there any key signs or success criteria that ensures for a proper sales and marketing alignment?
Okay, so how do you track if there's success? I mean, we already established that marketing gets the leads most of the time if it is an online business, or even if it is it's an event where they get the leads from. And most times the marketing teams are the one that would, set up all the messaging, put things in place. How do you now know that there's an alignment? Okay, I'll give you a misalignment and then you can see from there. I've seen cases where marketing has created documents like sales enablement, battle cards, different kind of documents that helps PQs. And then you see marketing in meetings, maybe high level stakeholders meetings, saying, "No, we have all these documents," and sales is saying, "We are not aware that there are such documents." That's already a misalignment. You have documents that you have created for sales enablement, and your sales team, they don't even know that it exists. So if they don't know that it exists, it means that they don't even know how to present it. So a lot of time when you create those materials, you want to have calls with your sales team. There has to be weekly check-ins or bi-weekly. So that is where you also even know whether the document you have put together is working. Because at the first document you put together is based on, it's just like the way you have built the first product, and then you refine based on feedback. So you have built a first document, a pitch deck. Your sales team, when they go for pitches, they come back, you have your weekly or bi-weekly calls. You then ask them, that's where they will tell you, see, sometimes people are saying that they don't understand what this thing means. So I have seen cases where sales team have worked it before. They will be like, "Ioni, we need to update our website." And I'm like, "Okay, what happened?" They're like, "The website, some people say they have to scroll down or something before they see our address, or before they even know, or it's not even telling them how we solved their problem." And when we looked at that, we identified that the problem is because we are serving B2B and B2C customers. So we need to actually have different websites for them. People that are in B2C will come in and they will feel, trust that, okay, I should sign up. But people in B2B, it's not connecting to them because we are not telling them how we solve the issues in their problem. So you need to have regular check-ins, marketing and sales. You need to be able to know what their experiences on the field or when they are interacting with customer, and you can use that to refine your messaging. So what do you measure? You measure the lead to conversion. If the lead to conversion is not, giving you are not getting a whole lot of numbers, or the lead to conversion rate is very low, what you then do is you go back to your messaging. And trust me, when you are even getting all of this feedback, you begin to refine. So it's reduced the number of days or months that your sales team needs to continue to engage one customer to convert them, because now you have refined your messaging. I don't know if that answers your questions. It's Siri.
Yes, it does answer the question. So it's very important to get like insight on the sales team, because sometimes, like especially in a big organization, it can be like, oh, we are in the dark in the marketing team, and then like for a biz dev team, they're not giving you like enough insights into what is going on, what leads are coming in, the questions they're asking. And it's very important. Like I've watched videos where marketing like gurus and like exec is like, okay, we always sit down with the sales team to know what is happening, because if we don't have any insight, then we cannot change our messaging. Another question is like, how do you handle, I don't know, do we have, sorry, I don't think we have enough time. Maybe I'll come to your DMs.
No, can. Okay. So let me add one more thing to the last thing you just said now. So if there's not an established weekly calls between marketing and sales, if you are in the marketing team, I would advise that you should be the one to initiate such calls. I've seen cases where when I initiate, we need to meet once a week or once in 2 weeks. We need to meet. Because I know that it is on me as marketing to set them up for success. So I usually just go and say, you know what, we need to have bi-weekly meetings, and I own it. But with time, they understand that when they now join such meeting, with time, they realize that that meeting is for the success of what they are doing in sales. So if you don't have such structure right now, you should be the one to request for it and let them see why it is a good way to go.
Thank you. I have so many more questions, so I'll just come to your DMs. And anyway, yeah, because time. Thank you so much.
All right.
Thank you. This is all the time that we have. Thank you, Ioni. Thank you to everyone who stayed till the end. We'll be moving very quickly into the announcements. As we shared at the beginning, this is the link to the B4B Revenue Accelerator. So please scan. You have about 10 seconds. Your time starts now. The B4B Revenue Accelerator will be very, very useful for business owners and their sales leaders to accelerate revenue growth. We also have the new Tokumbo Hero Africa Revenue Makers Awards. This is for us, we revenue professionals. We want to spotlight Africa's top revenue talents, amplify their impact. So if you are a revenue driving professional or you know one across sales, marketing, growth, RevOps, product, please nominate somebody. And we're also collaborating with the RevStar community to launch the very first, I think, RevUp Africa 2025. This is also for us as well, revenue professionals. The theme is connected for growth. We want to unify sales, marketing, and customer success. Okay. I hope that was enough time to scan. This is our newsletter. We encourage you to subscribe. My colleague is dropping the links in the chat as well. So in case you cannot scan, subscribe to our newsletter to get expert insights like hacks, coded hacks, and nobody else knows. Okay, and then follow us, of course, across all social media platforms. And thank you for joining. This is B4B. Bye. Bye-bye, everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.